Today, I'm joined by a professional boxer, a boxer that inspires me, Douglas Marroquin. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
My guy, dude.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, so we met at the Hay Stanford store, but one of my most memorable moments of seeing you is you taking over my Instagram feed because you had just won a fight and you're sitting up in the corner of a boxing ring looking like a bird perched up there, just looking over a vulture looking over your dead enemy, dude.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely an exciting fighter to watch. It comes by nature, I guess, naturally comes out. I love the scene. I love the cameras. I love the flashing lights at this moment and stage of my life. I love the drama too, man. I love drama. I love blood. I love everything that comes with boxing. And, we're just going to keep it up, get better and better every day.
What made you get into boxing?
The same thing as everybody, as any boxer could tell you, the streets, not having, I guess, guidance in life. I just started fighting. I've been fighting since a kid. I've been a shy kid, but a fighter kid. A shy fighter kid, I guess if you could say that. And I was fighting everything. I used to play sports too, but always fighting. Always getting to fights, to drama. So, yeah, that's, I guess, like, not knowing how to control that. I won't say, if I could say anger, or there was something that I couldn't control that once I stepped into boxing, like, I found like kind of like somehow to like
an outlet.
Yeah, something like that.
No,
I'm punching people. So of course, like, I love that. I get punched too, but shit.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by DistroKid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover DistroKid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, DistroKid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust DistroKid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used DistroKid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the DistroKid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with 2-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your DistroKid bank. Stay updated on royalties through push notifications. Effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional grade mastering, DistroVid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The DistroKid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends. It's funny, dude, because, obviously I have my recent entry into boxing, right?
Yeah.
So
and
I have
big props to you for that, man.
Thank you, dude. And but with that, like, there comes a lot with boxing. We talked about discipline a little bit beforehand.
Of course.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about your first fight, like once you got into boxing. What did that look like?
So amateur, professional.
We'll go amateur first, and then
amateur was kind of rough because when I started boxing, they didn't teach me the fundamentals of boxing. They taught me how to fight. So, which I already had that in me installed, right? So I was there to bang it out. I didn't know like how to properly slip or roll or throw a proper jab or throw a proper right hand. So I didn't know most of that. But I had the heart that you really can't show. So as long as you have the heart, you could show the rest of the things. You could show them how to properly throw a right hand, all that stuff. So I went in my first amateur fight just banging it out, man. I was banging it out. I got tired, but I lost my first 3 fights, amateur fights, which was rough because after the first one, they're like, okay, you're learning. The second one, they're like, Okay. The third one, they're like, come on now, you should just stop. I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep on doing it because I felt something in me.
I was gonna say, what made you keep going?
Just the discipline aspect of boxing, and you liking the sport, and you knowing that you have the grit and the heart and the desire to come out and perform and do it, kind of like motivated me to keep on doing it, no matter what everybody was talking about, no matter what they were saying. You know, I had a lot of doubters when I first started because of that, because me losing my first 3 fights. But then eventually I won my first one, and then I'm like, all right, boom, we're back to it. But I never let none of that bring me down or like disencourage me, if I could say that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what was like one of the worst moments, like while losing those first 3 fights?
Just people coming up to me like, oh, you got ass whooped? You lost again? And like, yeah. And they're like, so they kind of expect for you to win, but that's not always going to be the case, you know? So it's and I feel like you probably had the same experience where like, it's kind of like a chip on your shoulder.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I could agree.
You had a bit.
Well, you know what? Because I got people coming up to me after my fight. They're like, yo, you got your ass kicked. And I'm like, yo, you weren't even there. And that, I didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but they get guided by what they see.
yeah.
You know, so sometimes, like I said, I saw that you got hit big, but you say you don't feel like you got hit big. So it's like we get guided by what we see. And that sometimes is good and bad. You know, even on social media and social life and everything, you know. So, yeah. Yeah,
and like, you know, before my fight, you were somebody who I ran into on the streets, and you basically said, you know, you can't swim. Not expecting to get wet, dude.
The first time we met, I don't think the white collar was going on. I don't know. I don't remember if I knew that you were. If not, I would have been throwing you like since then. I would have told you some
Well, I
advice.
jumped in last second, dude.
Right?
Like fourth quarter, I jumped in like I had a month of training before the fight.
Yeah, we definitely met like a little bit longer than that. So like that's the thing with me. Like it doesn't cost me nothing. I know about the game of boxing.
Yeah.
I understand it. I've been there and I'm learning every day as well. So it doesn't cost me, because they've done it to me as well, to go out and tell you like, you know, you should do this, you should do that. If you want to take it, it's on you. But I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you as it is. And you know, it kind of like, it caught me off guard, because I don't know if you were playing when you said that, like you started asking everybody, but did I win? On some real, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't even know how to react, because like I wanted to tell you, but I didn't, like, at that moment, I was like, I don't think I should say anything about it. So I just kind of laughed it off. But then I started saying, I'm like, oh, he's playing.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have to be real about it, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, if you had an ass whooping, and you understand you had an ass whooping, and you could assess the situation and like, what could I do better? Then it's good. But if you're gonna live in a world of fantasies where you think you did good and you did bad, then it's like, I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Every like training, I could have done better. Sparring, there's times that I do good, I could have done better. But I also have my team, you know, Wilner Mendez, shout out to Wilner Mendez, Chris Aldridge, Jimmy Ortiz, Coach Dave, which you met Coach Dave. He's in my corner as well. You know, so I have these people, like, they don't let me relax. They don't let me sit back and enjoy it. They do for a moment, but then they're like, all right, you know, you could have done this. You could have done that. There's been times I whoop ass in sparring, and I notice, and I feel like the man, but then they come down, they pull me down from that. Like, all right, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep on working. You know, you could have done this. You could have done that. You know, why did he hit you?
Well, can you walk me through your hardest fight and what you did to prepare for it?
I'm going to be honest with you. My hardest fight it was my fifth fight.
Amateur or professional?
Professional.
Okay.
Oh, amateurs, I had rough fights, bro. I fought the number one in Canada. That was a rough one. I'm the New York world champion. I mean, the New York tournament champion, which that was a rough one, but I won. I won the Golden Glove Championships here in Connecticut. I fought against a Marine or a Army guy. Them dudes is solid as bricks. And, you know, that was tough. But my hardest professional fight right now was my 5th fight because the dude at the weigh-in, so professionals, we weigh in a day before, right? Amateurs is the same day you weigh in, the same day you fight. Professionals, you weigh in a day before, and then you fight the next day.
What's the reasoning for that?
I don't know.
It's just how they do it.
I'm rolling with the punches, man.
The rules are the rules.
The rules, yeah, you can't do shit about it. You can't do nothing about it. But so the guy supposed to weigh in, he got COVID the same day we were supposed to.
Chicken flu, dude.
The chicken flu, dog. And then it's like, damn. So I didn't know who was I was gonna fight until like 11 p.m. that night of the weigh-ins. I weighed in. Nobody's weighed in for me. I'm ready to fight. I sold tickets because we sell tickets. You know, these people are coming out to watch me. I'm excited. I have my sponsors. Shout out to all my sponsors as well. Thank you for believing in me. And let's keep it going. But I have my sponsors who have invested in me. I've invested time, energy, all this. So I'm ready to fight. And at the moment, I'm ready to fight anybody. So they're like, all right, we're going to look for a fighter. And then they started looking at it. Some dude came in from Pennsylvania the same night. So by 11 p.m., I know who I'm fighting. Then I go check him out. This dude was fighting on the Zone. He's fought for Golden Boy, which is top promoters. He's fighting good opposition. At the time, I'm 4-0, going for my 5th fight. This dude is 15 fights in. 15 fights. I think he was like 5 and 10. 5 wins, 10 losses. But the fact that you've been in there 15 times, you know how to take a punch. You know how to, how it feels to get punched. You know, because we don't use masks and then the gloves are smaller. It's 10 ounces. So, getting hit with the 10 ounces is harder. So I didn't know, 4th fight going to my 5th. I'm like, damn, this guy got 15 fights. He knows his way through the pros. And yeah, I ended up going all 4 rounds with him because we did 4 rounds. And he was just moving too much. And I had a hard time with him moving. But it was a good experience because I learned how to manage through that. And yeah, now we on to better stuff. We 8-0 right now, undefeated.
Let's go, dude.
Hungry for more.
Yeah. Dude, another thing too, when I saw you, because one of my biggest fears was yo, I didn't want to get my nose broken, dude. I was scared about
my shit is done.
Well, that's what you, and I saw you. Okay, talk to me.
Listen, before, if you think I'm talking too much, bro, let me break in, bro.
No, you're good. You're good. Because it's interesting when I'm listening too. But no, because I seen you on the street and right after you told me don't swim and get wet, you're like, my nose is broken. And in my head, when you said that to me, I'm like, yo, I don't want my nose broken, dog.
That's what stops a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I said.
That's where my fear kicks in.
Yeah. The mental aspect in boxing is big time, bro, because you got to really prepare yourself for what could happen and what will happen. And what will happen is going to get punched. What could happen, you might die or get knocked out. I'm already at peace with me with all these stuff, and I pray the Lord, and I'm thankful for every day I see on this ground. But I'm ready. If he's ready to take me, I'm ready to go. But he's not, because I got to become a world champion, dog. Yeah. I got to be a world champion, and I can't let anything or anybody stop me from becoming a world champion. I train every day, mentally, physically, preparing me for that. So, that's something that is going to have to happen, and it's bound to happen. The thing is, I don't know when, and I don't know how, but it's going to happen.
Let's go, dude. I see it for you too, bro. I see how you work out. I see everything. I already know it's going to happen because of how your determination is. Yeah. But there are some levels to this boxing, dude. You know what I mean? Where it's there are people that have told me that they respected me getting in the ring, but also I'm wearing the face mask that's got me protected all the way around, the headgear. And to be honest with you, the day of my fight, bro, I like was looking for like, cause there was different headgears floating around, and I was like, yo, I don't even want to get in the ring until I find the one like that. So it's
well,
like,
you know, it's crazy. The craziest sparring headgear I've seen is this dude had like a hockey mask on, and it's crazy because I don't know how the fuck but we let it happen. But dude had it all here and then had a glass like a thing here.
That's
what
crazy.
the fuck? But he's like, he was a member of the gym, so we let it slide.
Yeah.
But professional boxers or amateur boxers is like, we also, for the nose, they have a bar thing.
oh
like
yeah,
bar.
no, when I first started sparring, like I was using that
The bar?
too. Thank God, dude. Yeah.
But it don't feel good though.
no, because it like throws your head back.
Not only that, but I feel like there's no much space, you know, like you hear your bars here. Like I could see like without the bar, I could see things. So for all my boxers, and I would like to know that, like, what do you guys do? Do you guys look at the eyes or the chest? Because I go for the chest.
I'm a shoulder guy now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I go for the chest because I get to see the whole panorama of everything that's going on, where your feet is moving, where your hands moving, like the movements you do with your head. Like even there, like I'm staring at you, but I can see what's going on here. So I like that. Some people look at the eyes, but the eyes could trick you sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they might look here, they're gonna go here, and then they throw you here.
Yeah, Core told me to decide, like because Core would get in there with me and like just do defense. He'd be like, stop looking at me at the eyes, dude.
Cordell's one of the top of the top, man, and I'm blessed for him to have given me the knowledge that I know to this day. He molded me. Like it or not, he molded me through ass whoopings, and that's what a lot of people gotta understand. Especially boxers. A lot of boxers. In life too, fuck it. In life, you're gonna go through whoopings, ass whoopings in every aspect you do, but guess what? That determines if you're gonna be good or not. If you break or you fold, or you make it. So, like through ass whoopings, I got better and better and better. I've been in the ring with the top of the top, the cream of the crop, man, and you know, I've learned a little bit of everything. I was blessed. I lived in Miami for a little bit. I was blessed to see the Cuban boxing, which is a lot of footwork. He kind of installed it on me a little bit because he's mostly a boxer. He punches hard though. He punches, he'll thug it out, but he's a tremendous boxer, man. And so like me learning that, and then I took that to Miami, kind of like helped me. And then me learning from the Cubans helped me even more. Now I'm back. I got the Cuban style with me, and now we got the Mexican style, which, you know, I'm half Mexican, half Guatemalan. So that's even better because people love the Mexican style. I don't know if you know, you're acquainted with the type of styles.
I'm getting more familiar, but not all the way.
So the Mexican style is mostly like stand your ground, boom, 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 boom. Let's go at it until somebody gets knocked out. Like you know the robot things.
Yeah, the sock'em robots. Yeah.
So that's the Mexican style, right? Then you have like the Cuban Soviet style, which is like you move, you box. So that's boxing. Like the Cuban style, Soviet style is boxing. You punch, and you move. You're moving your feet a lot. So that could have came in handy for you in that fight you did.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah, but like I
yeah.
said, man, it's a month really is not as much time to know. If anything, there is just bang it out, man.
Yo,
That's
I have a weird fear, dude. I don't like hitting people. I like that's something that wrong sport to be in, to like not want to. But like even when I got sparring, like when I was sparring, like practicing ahead of time, like, you know, people would hit me and I would just be like, just wouldn't swing back.
So
dude.
you have to install the get
Killed, yeah.
Mentality, because that's what it comes with. But you also have to have a switch. Some people don't know how to manage that switch, and then they take that onto the outside world, and then they just fuck everything up. You know, I'm blessed. Like I said, I know how to turn that switch up, and I know when and how to turn that switch up. Like, bro, I train. I be knocking dudes out, and I be doing all these damages, bro, in boxing. But I'm out here. I'm just a chill guy, man.
What was it like knocking out your first opponent, dude?
I cried, bro.
Tears of joy?
No.
What happened?
No, you know why, bro? It's just, so I didn't knock him out. I have not, I pray. I really do pray. I don't knock nobody out to the point where they could go to sleep because that's not something I want. But if it happens, it happens. And then I know that it could happen to me. So it's okay, you know, like, but all my stoppages have been body work. I love the body because I don't get to, you know, brain damage you and you still going down and you still gonna feel it. I don't know if you ever got hit with the body shots, but those body shots, they have you looking for air somewhere and you can't even find it. I've got hit by Cordell. He's the one who introduced me to the body shots. He hit me one time and I'm rolling and I can't even find the air. I'm looking for somewhere and I can't find it. And like from there on, I started working the body shots. And that's my thing. I love that. And that's why, you know, the Mexican style kind of came to me in handy because that's what we do. We inside work the body. And then eventually they have a saying that say, work the body, the head will fall off. So I hit this guy to the body shot. Bow! And then, but I understood, like, people, like, some people do boxing to hopefully in the future get a good payout, a payday. Some people do boxing to put food on their tables. I didn't know that before. Like, for me, everybody was a boxer and everybody wanted. Some people put food on their tables with boxing. He was one of them. And I understood that, right? But it wasn't because of that I cried, but it kind of did have some kind of effect. But I started crying because when the dude went down, like I spoke, and there's a video. I go up and I said, please don't let him get up. I was ready to murder him. Like I said, there's a switch and it's either kill or be killed. And I'm not going to be killed. And if you're going to kill me, you're definitely going to come back. You're going to come with me. You're going to be killed with me or you're definitely going to be left in some type of struggle. But I'm not that easy to kill. And so I saw the dude and I prayed to God. And like at the moment, the referee was like counting 1, 2, 3. I'm like, please don't let it go. Please don't let it go. Because I was ready to murder dude. And then like they stopped it. The dude couldn't go. And I'm like, thank you. And then I don't know, but I just started like, I went to him. I started crying. I told him, thank you for taking the fight. And yeah, that's how it is right now. So like I said, I try not to knock. Well, if it comes, it comes. Yeah. Because I'm not trying, but I don't want it to happen. But I'm not trying. I'm not trying. I'm trying to knock you the fuck out. But I'd rather you go down on a body shot than a headshot.
I see what you're saying, dude. And like, I think a lot of it too, which I definitely need work on, but there's a certain level of like control. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like,
definitely,
you know, that's like one thing when I've seen like the clips of you fighting, like the clip that the most, for me at least, the famous clip of you, like the body shot you took on him was almost like surgical, dude. The way it's like,
you practice a lot for it, but you have to be patient. And I don't know, for the fight that just came up, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul, they were going at him. It was like, how are you a world champion and you let 6 rounds go by? And at first, you got to give it to Jake because he started doing the Cuban style, which is running around trying to punch and running, which is Mayweather style as well. Mayweather used to do that. You punch, move, box. That's boxing. That's the name of the game, boxing. Hit and don't get hit. I love to get hit though, and I love to hit. But he did that but then AJ was like, sometimes you have to take your time to kind of like break down the puzzle, you know? So, yeah, so you have to be, because they were giving him mad, they were going at it like, you got to knock him out in the first round. You got to win it. And so they kind of like put some pressure on you. And that's what happens sometimes when you want to, a dude could just like blindfolded swing a haymaker, and then you doing all this shit, boom, and you're out. So we try to take time with it, unless you know the guy is really hurt and you could finish him and you know he's not going to throw nothing, then you go like all out. But if you know the dude's still protecting and still like he's trying to throw something, then you got to be cautious about it. So that's when the controlling aspect comes into play.
Yeah, you know, and talking about like the Jake Paul fight, you know, a lot of influencers have entered the space of boxing. You know, how do you feel about that? And you could be honest. I know, listen, dude, I understand what side I land on, but I'd be curious.
I give respect to it. I give respect as long as you really prepare for it, right? But if you're gonna just joke around about it, and then it's not even be fully committed to the sport, it's a lifestyle. You gotta understand this. So I'm telling it to you from a point of view of a lifestyle and from a person that comes from nothing, from cornflakes and fucking water, that you have to be committed to this, because it's not a game, bro. Like, people die. So when I see commitment in somebody like you, like Chase, the more against Andrew say, bro, Chase has changed a lot. And shout out to PG Sports and Paul for, for helping him. And I could guarantee you, Cordell probably even gave him some tips because they're in the same agency. I could say that. But if I see someone really, like, how could I say, like, really dedicated to that really wants to learn and get into that, I respect that. If you want to come just fuckery shit, then it's like.
And I see that with like a Jake Paul too. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, eventually, and mark my words, today, December 20 something, he's gonna get a title bout. In 2026, he's gonna get, if he can bounce back from that the jaw, which probably take like a couple months.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll probably say 2027, 2028, he's gonna have a belt, but he will have a belt because he's demonstrating, he's proving people that he really wants this sport. He's also giving back. He's becoming a voice for the female boxers. He's giving people that don't have a stage for them to perform in the MVP promotion, the most valuable promotion. So shout out to Jake Paul, all the whole MVP promotion. Yeah, man, I respect that. I can respect that.
Yeah, and I want to pull it back to your story though too, because I want to know what your biggest moment of success has been, dude. Like, what was that moment for you that it was like, oh, I'm on top of the world, I got this?
Not yet.
Not yet. Nothing.
I can feel it coming though, but I'm climbing that pinnacle. I'm climbing. I can feel it. I'm slowly climbing that. I've had moments in and out the ring though, where like you could start feeling like you're onto something.
Can you tell me about one?
Inside the ring or outside the ring? So inside the ring, I'm gonna give you both.
Go, yeah.
So inside the ring, I could tell you the last time, my last two fights, my last fight, the last two fights. So the dude, we clashed and he hit me here and they busted my head open. So I had blood all over my face.
I think I seen the photos.
Man, listen, it was a bloody war. And I stopped the dude. They were about to stop the fight. My coach, one of my coaches, Chris Aldridge, he's like, dude, they're gonna stop this fight after the second round. So you gotta do something or they're gonna stop it. And I'm like, all right. That kind of like, all right, I'm gonna go all out. I threw the kitchen sink on him, everything. And, we were blessed enough to stop him, body shot, usual, bodies. And yeah, man. So it was a bloody war. People were like, oh my God, you're so bloody, this and that. So that was kind of like one of them like feelings, but I still don't feel accomplished there. And I feel like I'm one of the people that I do something good, I sit back, I reflect on it, and then, all right, on to the next one. There was one moment, there was a moment when, this was going back in high school. I used to play soccer for West Hill.
Oh, let's go. Me too, dude.
No way.
Yeah, what year, dude?
I was...
I graduated 2013.
Oh, no,
do you have
2014 to Andrews.
Oh, I had Coach Hannah.
Oh, Hannah was on JV.
Yeah, I had
Hannah was JV when I was there. So this guy, I had Coach Andrews. It was a shit show, but so I got for the weight. I grew up in Guatemala, dirt streets, cornflake and water. Sometimes you didn't know when your next meal would come from. It was a bad situation for me. But we always saw the bright side of it. So, And so I played soccer in Guatemala in the streets. In the streets is either if they push you, it's playing dirty. It was dirty soccer. So I grew up that gave me kind of like shaped me my mentality, my heart to like where I'm at right now. So I ended up being I ended up in the first boy team of the soccer. I think it's called All FCX.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like I've always been fighting there. So what happened is that I was getting into a lot of fights. But I was still good. I made the news. I don't know how the fuck. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't know how I made the news, and then like people started seeing me on the news on the newspaper and then News 12, and I'm like, oh shit, this feels good. This was like I feel like the shites right now, right? Like the man, and then eventually, like people started forgetting about that, and I'm like, you don't even remember. So that's where like everything shifted for me, like. I can't get hooked on what happened because people eventually gonna forget and then it's on to the next one.
You're only as good as your last play,
like
dude.
waves, like they call it waves. Like so, I had a wave. That wave went away. Now it's time to like another wave and another wave. So, but it comes natural though. It comes natural. Like I try not to force nothing, and I've seen times that I force things, it don't come out as I planned. So I try not to force nothing. And you know, like I said, I look at my stuff, whatever I did, like those couple fights, I reflect on it and on to the next one.
What's the thing that takes you to the next level? Like, you know, you said you haven't had your big moment. Like, what does that look like for you?
It's a fighter.
Okay.
In boxing, they have a saying, it takes two to tangle, right? It takes two to dance. So it's just, it depends the fighter, man. Like if I fight a bum, people are not gonna respect that. If I fight someone good, then they're probably gonna respect it. But I really don't even do it for them. I do it for me to prove myself and see where I'm at. That also comes in sparring. Like when I get to the opportunity to spar someone good and I know I did a good job, that kind of like pushes me to like, all right, keep motivated and you're like, all right, we're doing good. We're on a good track. Let's keep it going. I've definitely had ass whoopings, but those ass whoopings have helped me to like, all right, what could I do better? What could I, should I work on?
Yeah. So, you know, with like some of your fights that you've had, you know, you'll come out one of them, whether the result, but it's like, how long does it take for you to get back into the process for the next one?
I'm never not training. I'm always training.
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready.
Yeah. So I definitely train. I don't train as hard as I do in camp. So we call it camps. So it could be a month and a half, 2 months, or a month camps, right? But the fact that you're already ready, you don't have to get ready for like strenuous workouts and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm always, even now, I just ran early in the morning. I ran. Probably gonna get a workout after this. And so you always stay ready. Sometimes I work out 3 times a day. Sometimes I work out twice a day. And, you know, the hardest part in boxing, I'm gonna tell you like this, and anybody can vouch for me. And if you're a boxer, you understand, is the weight cutting. Is the weight cutting. Anybody will tell you that, man. That's why I try to stay ready. And my biggest problem right now is eating, dog, because I focus whenever I have a fight day.
Yeah.
If I have a fight day and they tell me like you're fighting this day and I have the opponent, then it kind of gives me like a goal. Like okay, I have that goal. Okay, what do we have to do to achieve that goal? Okay, we got to do this, cut weight. Okay. Now I really don't have a goal other than staying like training. So I be eating like crazy, but I'm back to it today. I started my, I won't say weight cut, but my diet where I'm not eating as much. I'm training a little bit more, and yeah. But anybody could tell you that weight cutting is sucks. You didn't have to cut weight for you didn't have to.
I did. So I had to, dude. I weighed in, bro. Listen to this, dude. I weighed in at like 188, like originally before, before I had to lose weight. They wanted me to get to 175, bro. By the time I got to my
10 pounds, 11,
bro. By the time I got to my fight, dude, I was 170.
Oh shit.
Bro, I had lost so much weight because I think I just had like a lot of like baby fat on me or something that was ready to go, dude. But I like
you didn't have. So what we do is, I don't know. Excuse me to interrupt, but you didn't do like no sauna,
no,
like
dude,
that?
bro. I just was traded with Cordell, and that was doing it. I like was surprised at how quick I was.
Were you looking at your diet though? Were you like?
I was I was so on top of my diet, dude. You know what I mean? Like I was eating cleanest. Chicken, rice, broccoli, and literally just the exact same meal every day. Like that was one thing I was like really focusing on. The only thing that I would like break for is coffee, dude. Cause I like my sweet coffee.
Coffee's not bad.
No, but the way I drink it's bad, dude.
What is it?
I drink it all sweet and with all the syrups and stuff,
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the sugar part.
The sugar part is bad. So, but like coffee was that was my non-negotiable though, so.
Yeah, that's one big thing is like the diet for us. Some of us don't have the money to afford what do you call those people?
A nutritionist?
Nutritionist.
Yeah.
We don't have the money for that, so we have to be our own nutritionist. There's people that have money, like, anybody who's making $100,000 per fight has a nutritionist and knows how to go about it. Us, we kind of have to kill ourselves until we get to that point, which we will.
And boxing can get expensive, dude. I kind of like learned quickly, like how much it adds up real quick.
A lot of gear. That's why I'm blessed to have sponsors that back me up. I'm blessed. I was in Miami. I met this guy. His name is James. They call him Buddha. He's the owner of Spray Ground. I'm blessed. He's one of the sponsors now for my upcoming fight on February 15th.
Let's go, dude.
At Mohegan Sun Casino. So I'm blessed for that. It's not concrete yet,
Yeah.
But they giving us that date. Hopefully, we get a fight. And Spray Ground's one of the top sponsors at the moment. But we also have these these other sponsors that have helped us throughout my career. La Taqueria El Chino, Scott from Sig Bridge. There's a bunch, man. I can't even remember, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people chipping in. This is why another reason why I can't I put so much effort.
Oh, you're good, dude. My bad. I'm paying attention. The Christmas clock is going off, dude.
Scared me. I was about to whack him.
That's not funny, dude.
No, there's a lot of people chipping into my career, man, and I appreciate them big time. My whole family, my whole team, my supporters, people that come out and buy tickets, that want to see me fight. Because I'm entertaining, man. I'm an entertainer, and I'm entertaining to watch. Either you're gonna see blood, you're gonna see some stupid shit going on. We come out with a whole guitar band, like a whole band. We got robots. We got anything I could do to entertain, because you gotta understand, people. There's a meme. Yoel Romero?
Which one?
Yoel Romero.
No, I don't.
So there's a meme of this guy. He's a Brazilian, but he doesn't know that much English. He's like, people pay, because he was trying to explain that people pay tickets.
Yeah.
The tickets to come see, something.
Yeah.
Some people pay tickets and end up having a boring fight.
Oh,
I don't want that for people. If you put effort in buying a ticket from you work hard and then you buy a ticket for me, that speaks a lot, speaks volumes for me. So I'm going to try anything. I'm learning how to do a backflip.
That's going to be sick, dude.
But anything I could do to entertain people, I'm down to do it. And if you guys have any ideas for my next fight, please don't be shy. Let me know anything you would like for me to do.
You gotta pull like a dove out of your shorts at the end of the fight, dude. You gotta be like there the whole time, dude. It's like,
but if it's just in the pro boxing, they don't let certain things slide.
Yeah.
So like fireworks, I've been wanting fireworks. They don't let that slide.
Yeah.
Smoke. The robot has tried to come out with smoke flame. Like
I know you're talking about like the cryo. Yeah.
No, they don't allow that. So like I've been having these ideas, but it's just like.
No.
If anything, I've been trying to start a fight by the fans before. I don't know, something. But if you have ideas, please let me know.
Well, that's like, I always tell people rule number one in the entertainment industry is to entertain.
Entertain.
It's
so in the boxing is different.
Yeah.
You have to know how to fight and then know how to entertain.
That's where my mistake was. I did the opposite way around. I came in as an entertainer and a fighter second. Next year, I come in as a fighter first.
You fought your ass off, man. You have heart. You know, like I said, I respect people that go into that ring because it takes heart to take a punch and know that you're gonna get punched. That's the most. Like,
I enjoyed it though, dude. I don't know. Maybe I thought I was a psychopath because, dude, because you know it's funny.
The energy, the adrenaline.
Yeah, because I got out the ring. You were the first person I seen. Actually, the second I got out the ring, and I was like feeling, bro. I expected to lose and be like the sad, just be like nobody talked to me. But instead I was like,
nah. So it depends how you come out of it.
Yeah,
like, you came out in a good losing way because you came. You know, you understood. You know, that it didn't go your way.
Yeah.
And like, you're not, bro, I've seen people, but then again, like I said, there's pro boxers, right? I've seen pro boxers that lose and they're drinking. They're happy. They're having fun. This is at Mohegan Sun. And this is why I couldn't understand, but like, I saw this dude get an ass whooping. He got stopped in the third or fourth round. Mean right hand to the face, down the pipe. And then after the fights, he's at a fucking bar outside. You know how Mohegan Sun has the drinking bars and all that stuff. The dude is drinking, and he's just talking to his people around him and like dancing. And I'm like, bro, how the hell are you happy? But then I understand, like, these people are not here to win. There's people that want to win. There's people that they don't care.
Yeah.
There's people that want to win, that need to win, and there's people that don't care.
Why don't they care?
Because, like I said, these are people that really don't care about boxing. They just care about the money. I'm not winning as much money people think, but I'm 8-0 undefeated, hungry for more. But people think I'm winning thousands of dollars, bro. I'm not winning like that, bro.
Bro.
I'm at a point where I'm not even winning as much to even cover my bills. I gotta work to cover my bills. But I keep the same mentality that eventually it's gonna pop. My bubble will pop. It's just, you know, it takes time for it, man.
Yeah, and just when you grow anything, dude. You know what I mean? I think like people, because sometimes there's a misconception too. You know what I mean? Like, and people just like, you know, they'll see the wins all back to back and then be like, damn, Douglas got it now, dude. Like, coming for their $20, dude.
Yeah, but they don't see the
grind, everything else,
like,
bro.
behind the curtains, they don't see that, bro.
There's a lot that goes into that.
You know, so they only see, like I said, we were talking earlier, they let themselves get fooled for what they see on social media. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to start my vlogs, so people could really see the backstage, see or even streaming, so people could see what really happens.
It's important, dude, because then you also give opportunity, like from just like a marketing branding thing, like for people to fall in love with you as a person. You know what I mean?
So
and learn
I'm
who
doing
you
that.
are.
Yeah, so for the community as well, I want them to see like that. Even though I'm going through my own struggles, bro, I just crashed my car 3 days ago. I got a backlash, something like whiplash, something like that. My back is hurting me like crazy right now. I'm going through some financial burdens right now, but I'm still positive and I still train like I'm fucking like something's coming because I know there's something coming. And the root of that confidence is just the way I train. The people I've sparred with, you know, the people that back me up, the people that support, they're always showing love. So how can I not? Bro, it's impossible. So like I want to show kids that like even though you're going through stuff, you know, you can still make it. And no matter what your situation is. Like I grew up fatherless. I don't have a father. I grew up with my mother. And I have a lot of woman tendencies, bro. So, like, I could really, and I was in drugs at a moment before boxing.
That's crazy, dude. I didn't know about that. Can we talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the usual. Like, any boxer would tell you the same thing. But like, any high successful boxer tell you they were wrapped up in drugs, in the streets. I wasn't necessarily in the street, like, doing illegal activities, but I was the kid. Because I used to play soccer, so the streets has a code that if there's a kid that's in the streets but is an athlete, don't let him intervene in drug activities and any things that would get him into jail. So there's a code for that, and anybody could vouch for. They'll tell you. It's the same thing that happened with this Raven. What do you call the Raven? Lamar Jackson, bro.
Oh dang.
Lamar, right? Lamar.
Yeah, I think Lamar.
So Lamar Jackson's from he's from Florida, and he grew up, Kodak Black.
Of course,
They
dude.
grew up in the same area, and if you see the difference between Lamar Jackson and Kodak. Like, Kodak is more street. Lamar, and they're friends. They're best friends, bro. They grew up kids and everything. But like I said, they had a code. They have a code that if you see a kid has what do you call that? Like you could see he has something potential.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we're gonna, this kid is not gonna be involved, even though he's part of us and everything. But we're like, don't mess with him, don't touch him, don't, nothing with him. So that was my case. I was blessed because I used to play soccer and I used to be in a travel team that people knew. I was the only one out of my place at first. I was the first one. Now that I think about
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, bro. So I've been always like breaking barriers, and I'm still doing it, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. So I was involved with the streets, and then, eventually drinking and then drugs and all that stuff. Yeah. And I did my thing, and then
How'd you get out of it?
boxing, bro. Boxing saved me. Big time.
Yeah.
And just like me, a lot of other people have the same story where boxing saved them, or sports in general.
Yeah.
But my case was boxing. Boxing saved me. That's gonna be the title. Boxing saved me.
Let's go, dude. And
Yeah, bro.
I want to know. There's a couple things I want to know before we wind it down, but. How do you deal with fear? Even to today, because people will look at you and be like, yo, Douglas is in a very dangerous sport. Mm-hmm. At times you're risking a lot, dude.
And I thank those type of people, but I kind of steer them off because are you not scared to die? And I am scared. Anybody tell you they're not scared, they're lying, bro, or they're psychopaths, either or. But like I said, I made my peace with death. I already know we all have our time. It's just, we don't know when and how, but our time is coming. Shit, a bomb can be dropped in right now. And then, that's what.
Knock on wood, yes. No,
like I said, bro. So you never know. I could walk out and then, and it's happened like that where I hear stories about someone that we know just walked out and then a tree fell and then they died. So I made my peace with death. I'm at peace with death. It could come tomorrow and I'll be okay with it, and I'm ready for it. I don't want it to happen, but I'm ready for it. So you have to make fear your friend. You have to find in anything, and even in anything that happens to you, you got to find, okay, what is this going to teach me? And I've been reading books and the same thing. What is this going to teach me? How can I make it something good for me? So I use fear as, all right, I'm stepping into something that I don't know, and I'm stepping into something that might grow me, and it's gonna grow me. If I were Jake Paul grew a lot of that fight because not anybody could. I fought Anthony Joshua. Not a lot of people have the that could say that.
And the thing about him too is he's coming back. You know what I mean?
Eventually. So big props to him. But yeah, you have to make fear your friend.
Yeah. And definitely. I'll ask you this too. I ask this to all my guests, what's your message to the world? If you want to be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
Man, that
heavy.
I was.
Yeah, my bad.
It is heavy, but that I was always trying to uplift people, always, try to be positive, because I try to, man. Even though I have days that I'm like, man, listen, but I understand, I'm coming into a point where I understand that a smile could really change someone's life. A good morning could change someone's life. Someone can have a shitty day and you trying to talk to them and hey, how you doing? Good morning. That could change. That could reroute them to where they were. So, I want to be reminded as that person that I always try to look out for people. Even, I don't care about people looking out for me, but if it happens, right? But I always try to give out to people and anything I can. I can't money right now, but if I could do words and I could do actions, let's go.
Let's go, dude. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think that, I'm going to pull it to the end zone, dude.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you for having...
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Coming on the pod, dude. And even like, inspiring me up into my fight, dude.
Yes,
Because like, as I was preparing for my fight, I seen the clips of you and I was strolling down your feed. I was like, what's Douglas going on? It just...
Yeah.
It inspired me, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough sport, and you know this now, but anything's possible. Anything's possible as long as you keep your mindset, and you could believe it. McGregor said, if you could believe it, you could achieve it. But that's big time. Your mind is big time, man.
And I think how positive, like not like you and Cordell, like I feel like I entered with open arms.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I mean? Where it's like I felt welcome in the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cordell is a great person, man. He's always gonna have that welcoming. But he likes to there's a name for this, man. That like he likes to trigger people. He not necessarily trigger people, but he likes to like. And I like that too. I'm like that. We like the drama, but it's like, let's say someone says something, you gonna let him do that?
That's exactly what
do you
he's
call
doing.
that? What do you call that?
Instigating.
Instigators, bro. I love to instigate, but I also know when to draw the line.
Yeah.
Like he's like, come on, man. And then if they start arguing, I love the drama. But if I see that they're about to fight, then I'm like, no, that's it.
Yeah,
but
he definitely was doing that a lot when I was trading with him,
it's just, there's something about like...
But it helps fuel you, dude. It's almost like part of like the tactic, dude.
It brings, I'm the type, listen, I feel like Cordell's the same way. We're the same way. I'm the type of person that you go into let's say a club, you have the people like, and then you have the people like, boom, boom. I'm dancing, bro. I'm dancing, funny. Because I don't believe in life just being like. And I'm blessed to little by little being the light of the party. I go anywhere, Brian, and then let's go. What's up? What we doing? What we doing? And then people be just standing around, and I'm like slowly start dancing, and then people start following the lead. So Cordell is one of them like that too. That like we can't stay quiet. I guess we got some fucking ADHD or what do you call it? CDC.
I feel it, dude. You can't stand still, man. Dude.
Yeah, so we kind of want like we always. You're gonna feel us. You're gonna feel us. You definitely gonna feel me. Anywhere I go, anywhere I'm at, you're gonna definitely feel my vibe. You're gonna feel my energy, and it's up to you how you receive it. You receive it bad, it's all on you. If you receive it, if you welcome it, then guess what? It's gonna be a vibe.
Yeah. What's next for you, dude?
Right now, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna answer like I'm letting my team. We're gonna go back and with my team to the scoreboard and then. Man, I'm looking forward for that February fight, man. I'm ready. I'm eager to fight. I'm ready to fight. I want to put on a show for people. I'm ready to go back on the stage. Sparring is big time for me right now, so I want to get sparring with like top people. I was just in Miami. We did some sparring, but like I said, I just crashed, so my back's not feeling the best.
Yeah, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery on that, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to see you fight, dude.
Thank you. We're definitely gonna bring you down. Once we get we get notified if we're definitely gonna fight or not. You're one of the first people that hopefully can come down.
Let's go, dude.
PJ wants to go from Hay Stanford.
Yeah, PJ. I was talking to him about you earlier. He's a big fan of yours, dude.
Yeah, he sees, man. It's the things like when you come in, I don't fake nothing, bro. And I don't believe in being fake and to impress people. I really don't care. If you don't, even if I sound dumb, I'm gonna ask you, what's this? I asked you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know I might seem dumb at first, but guess what? I'm gonna learn what it is. Like you told me what you said. I asked you what a word meant, and then you clarified it.
Oh yeah.
And I was all right. Oh, this is what it means. So it's the same way. Like I'm always gonna come in. So he has felt the times that we've spoken. he's felt that energy. And anywhere I go, bro, like if I don't know something, I'm gonna ask, even though some people don't ask because they don't want to seem dumb. And they're like, oh yeah, no. And
no, it's important to ask because you got to learn. It's the only way you can get things better. Otherwise, it's like, yeah.
Man. I be sounding dumb sometimes, like I said, but it is what it is, you know. But there's sometimes a lot of people get mad at me for it, but it's just like, if you want to do it to me, then do it. But like, if I were to ask you, like, I come in and I ask you, like, what's this? And you, oh yeah, this, oh, I know this. And then I ask you, well, what is it?
Yeah, and then me trying to like break it down, it's like,
so then you gain my confidence off of that.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, oh, you really are truly, you know
what
really
you're talking about.
Yeah. But then it's like, there's people that I've done that same thing. I'm like, I tell them about something like, oh yeah, and then like, yeah, you know, what is it? Yeah, I know it. What is it?
The talkers versus the doers,
and
bro.
And then they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, why would you tell me? You know, then it's just. Like, I don't know, but I'm a Cancer, though. That's the thing, bro.
My girl's a Cancer. I get it, dude. I live
We're
with a
really
Cancer.
sentimental people, and we really value things from, like, deep things. Like, deep conversations. Like, you really being genuine to me because I'm going to give you the same energy. I'm going to be genuine to you. Even, like, you, Peach, anybody I come close to, bro, I'm going to be genuine. And if you ask me a question I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. If you ask me and you want the same response, like the real response, I'm gonna tell you the real, even though it hurts. But guess what? I'd rather me be real to you than being fake. And then like,
you need that, bro. Like in life, bro, sometimes I feel, especially now, like that things have gotten like a little bit more popular, just like the tiniest bit. But like, I feel like people are just saying yes to me, like just to appease me versus
I'm scared
like,
of that. I'm scared of that.
It's terrible,
I'm scared
bro.
of that
It's
big
like, yo,
time. That's why I do the questioning thing sometimes. Like,
give me the bad news. Like, you know what I mean? Tell me what it is.
That's why, like, you didn't see, like, I didn't sugarcoat you at all, bro.
Yeah.
If you see it, it's just I didn't know how to respond, but I did not go. Oh yeah.
But you might not know me enough to know that I was like kind of doing a bit though too. You know
what? I kind of did.
What?
I did had that feeling because I was like, I had two options. Either you was fucking.
Hit that hard that I was like,
bro, you had a concussion.
Yeah.
And really didn't know what the fuck. You know why, bro?
Because
you
you've probably seen some real.
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
It's happened to me because my last amateur fight, I wasn't there. So I was fighting at a lost spot, if I could tell you that.
Yeah.
So I got hit. The only time I ever got dropped, but it's because I kind of tipped on his foot. At the same time, he hit me. So I was calling like, well, I took a step, I hit his foot. He was already planted and hit me. So he hit me. I went down, my fucking arms crossed in the back. And then I don't know how I got up. And that was the first round.
Damn.
And this is why I know I got big balls. Whoever want to fucking get it, they could get it. Because it was the first round. The dude couldn't stop me.
Yeah.
Like the first minute and a half, the first round, he hit me with that. I tripped. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I made it out the round. I go to the corner. I tell my coach, like, I don't know if I could. Shoot, everything is spinning right now.
It's a weird feeling, dude. Like, because I think I was there my entire fight, you know, as present as I could be. But there were.
You gassed out though. No? You didn't feel like you couldn't like
explain it and then maybe yes.
So what happens with us sometimes is like, we want to throw punches, but our body doesn't allow it.
So, you know what? It was a mixed bag for me too, where it's like, you know, I talked to you about this beforehand. You know what I mean? Because I'm not an excuses guy, but like, I came into my fight mad tired, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like so I guess in some senses, yes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like.
Tired how? Elaborate.
Like, I know I got you. I can.
Nah,
I can.
I'm playing.
I like legitimately just like my body was run down. Like I felt like I wasn't getting like the proper, you know, and that's another thing.
It could have been the cut weight, bro. That's what I'm telling you. Like a lot of us.
Leading up to the fight, dude, I was going to say like the last couple days leading up to the fight for me, and like this is something I need to do better next time, right?
Yeah,
Look into that.
You learn.
Is like I just wasn't getting good sleep, dude, because I was like thinking about the fight too much. It was like consuming me too much.
It's the first fight.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah,
you were nervous.
Yeah, which is weird. I don't like get nervous though.
But it's just that you can't. You gotta get nervous with something you about to get punched, and if you see it that way, like I said, you might even die. Like people die in this sport. You don't really hear it in MMA or any other sport, probably NFL. But tell me any other sport, like legitimate sport that you hear people dying. You really don't.
Yeah.
Other than boxing. So like if you think about it that way, it's like that is something to get nervous about. But so how did you? So you wasn't sleeping well.
I wasn't sleeping well, but with the fight though, to the closest like, and I couldn't tell if this was like legitimate or not. But like in the ring, and I almost felt like it had to do with the being tired. But I felt like here I am in real life, and then I was like kind of like pulling away from myself.
It'd be like, that's what I'm telling you. Like sometimes mentally we want to do it, but our body doesn't allow it. There'll be times I'm like, I'll be tired and sparring, and I'm like, I want to throw this, and then if I do it slow.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I gotta keep my hands up, but then I find myself like my hands are down, and I bring them up again. And I'm like, I gotta keep my hands up. And then I throw, and then I'm back here, my hands are down. I'm like, oh, damn. Because you're tired. But
yeah. You know what I want to ask you, though? Because I want to wind it down and get you out of here. But I want to ask you, what's one of the...
I'm having a blast,
Me
man.
too, dude. Yeah, I just gotta, got schedules, dude.
You got it.
But, no, the question I want to ask you, because I feel this way a little bit about, but like, what's the most ridiculous or funny thing that's happened during a fight with you?
With me?
Yeah, if there's anything that like humor, like, I don't know. I look back at my fight and I see us like as Tweedledum and Tweedledee sometimes. So I like look at some of the...
My amateurs were like that, man.
Yeah.
If anything, my first 2 amateur fights were like that. Like I told you, I didn't know shit about boxing. I didn't know nothing about how to properly throw a punch, but I knew how to fight, and you knew how to fight. You had the fighting instinct in you. So that's rule number 1, having a fighting instinct. If you can't have that fighting instinct in you, then don't even step in this. But yeah, there was times I was just whacking. Or even my first couple sparring, I was just whacking, like going crazy. But other than that, nah, bro. I have not encountered yet something funny or if anything, nothing to kind of like remember.
Yeah. Anything with like your showmanship?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know. Like everything is different though. Every fight for me is something different. Like I said, I'm learning how to do a backflip. Shit, I never know.
Bro, if you pull through the backflip while I'm there, I'm gonna lose my mind,
shit,
bro.
But you never know. I might break my fucking neck or something.
Nah, don't do that, dude.
So
you can't do that. Dude.
I don't know, man. I've been coming up with ideas. I be seeing ideas. I don't know, and you might the same way, bro. Like you could see something and you visualize, and you're like, this is gonna look like this, like this.
If you say I'm big on the
And
aesthetics.
then sometimes it ends up being the way that you saw it. And they're like,
that's sick, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Did
that.
you plan that like when you went up on the corner of the ring like that? Did you
No.
Okay, it just happened that way.
It's just oh wait.
The most recent one that I seen.
Where I'm like sitting on the corner?
Yeah.
So I've done that at my gym.
Okay.
I've done that at my gym, but then like the idea came to me in the moment. I'm like, oh, this is probably gonna look sick in the pictures and look dope, and I'm gonna look tough as hell. So I'm like, let me go in there. And nobody has done that. See, that's the thing, bro. Like I'm being I don't know if you're on, like, there's been like moments for people where like they do something and it goes over people's, like people don't even notice it until like years after.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you remember this guy did this? And then eventually they come resurface and they're like, oh, this dude did this first. I can't put you an example right now because like I can't really remember it. But I've seen, I swear to everything, I've seen stories where like somebody did something and then years later they came out and it became popular.
And yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had some, my 5th fight, I had some boots, furry boots. Nobody's ever done that. And now they're coming out with different types of shoes. And I don't care about being remembered. Like I do want to be remembered and eventually they're going to remember me. But I do it just to like, cause I want to do it. I want to do it. I like, and who's there other than God to tell me not to do it? Yeah. Nobody, bro. And nobody could tell me nothing, bro, because like, what they gonna do other than shoot me? But I know how to shoot. So you're not gonna fight me because I know how to fight. So I be trying to mix it up, do different things every time. Last time we came out with a mask. And I was trying to do like, you ever seen Nacho Libre?
Of course, dude. Yeah.
You know those little dudes with the mask?
Yeah. That's mad funny, dude.
I was trying to do something like that, but it didn't come out because like I don't have that like persona of like coming out like, like I don't have that persona. I'm more like a vibey, like happy, like let's dance, like get the people riled up.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like,
dude.
I'm more of that.
It's like more
side.
positive. Like
Yeah, kind of like that. It's if anything, Roy Jones was kind of like that. Roy Jones had a fight where he walked out while singing.
Oh, insane, dude.
Nobody's ever done that. So I had the furry boots. Nobody did that. And then they're like, oh, they remember, like, oh, you're the guy with the boots, right? Oh, you were the fighter with the boots. Oh, those boots is crazy. So I had that. The first time we came with the robot, everybody was dancing with the robot. Nobody's ever done that here. The only one that's done that is Jake Paul. And that's where I took the idea from.
Yeah,
so Jake
sick,
Paul's putting seeds, bro. Like it or not, people don't Jake Paul is putting little seeds out there. And so nobody in boxing, period, is doing what I'm doing. And I don't care about getting my flowers right now. I'm gonna get them down the road. But I'm doing it because I like it, because I want to put a show, because I want to entertain people. You know, they don't allow me to put the fireworks yet. Eventually, hopefully they do. But that's gonna be sick because I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. You know, the first one with the robot, people are talking about the robot. First one the promotion I'm fighting out of, nobody came out with the guitars and the band in the back. I was the first one to come, and they love it. Oh, you the guy with the band and the robot. So I'm really trying to be different, man. I'm gonna be different. I am different. I feel different. You know, I move different. Everything I do is different, and you understand this too because we're in the same boat, man. We're cut from the same cloth. You know, we want to be, dude. We don't want to be normal.
No other option, dude.
But then there's people that are okay with that.
Bro, I mean, we could talk hours about, bro. It's funny, like in me, it's going to sound terrible, but me and my homie Jet had this conversation, like, and we just had a conversation about some of our like longtime friends, and we're like, yo, like, they might be losers, bro. Like, because they don't want to do anything with, like, they have these talents, but they just like don't want to work for the goal that brings them to the next level.
It takes
dude.
time, yeah. That's
but they don't want to put.
time.
But the thing is, they'll
sacrifice.
never put the sacrifice in, dude.
You know, shit.
That's
I
like,
don't hear about anybody going 50 states other than this motherfucking what do you call this guy?
What's he do?
He went from state to state. He was recording a movie though. You remember? I don't know. You probably heard of this.
I don't know.
Movie.
I should know considering I did one.
I forgot, but they got I don't want to say sued. I don't know if it was sued, but they had to take the movie off because he went representing Ukraine supposedly, but he ended up being like it's crazy. It was a crazy movie.
I'm gonna look it up, dude. After
I'm gonna send you the Borat. Borat.
Oh, Borat. Borat's a classic, dude.
Borat.
Yeah, it's funny.
Is it Borat or is
Borat?
It,
yeah.
Right. I don't know if they took it off.
I think
had
they
some
had a
issue, right?
I don't know, but I've definitely seen them all. He's hilarious, Sacha Baron Cohen.
But he went
he's
throughout states and talking about he was the Ukrainian president or some shit.
It's
like
crazy, dude.
But
He's a nut, dude, in a good way.
I have not met nobody that went state to state try to do something like you, bro.
Well, thank you, dude.
Like, you're doing a lot of things as well, like that should be applauded. And you might not get your flowers right now. I'm gonna give you some flowers right now.
Thank you, dude.
But eventually, you're gonna start seeing those flowers down the line.
I think so, dude. And I had like a really positive year this year, so you know I'm not complaining. And one thing I've learned doesn't always happen the way you think.
Hell yeah, bro.
You know, but
of course,
if people want to connect with you or find you, how can they, dude?
So anybody who wants to talk to me, get to know me a little bit better, I'm on Instagram, all platforms. It's Douglas21 or my full name, Douglas Marroquin. You know, and like I said, I'm blessed to be here with Mike, you know, giving me a platform to showcase and tell you guys about my story. And I'm blessed to everybody who supported me, everybody who's, you know, who always comes out, buys tickets. Thank you very much. All my sponsors, my team, my family. Thank you very much. You know, shout out Brawlers Boxing Gym in Miami, Tiger in Miami, Sergio, Miami. Thank you. La Casa del Peinal. Thank you, everybody who's supporting. I appreciate you big time. Spray Ground, thank you for coming through as well. Buddha, you know, James, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Salute to you. Keeping your word. And let's go. On to bigger things, a bigger, brighter future, 2026. And, you know, eventually I will be a champion one day. I want to be a champion. Like I said, I won't let anybody or anything take that away from me. And, you know, I train, like I said, bro, I train every day mentally and physically, but mostly mentally.
There's a lot of people that will come on and say they want to be a champion, they want to be great. When you say it, I believe you.
Thank you, bro. It's just you also see the work ethic. It's a different story. I've seen people that want to do this, want to do that, but they're not really chasing it. I'm really hunting this motherfucker down, bro, because it's now or never, man. I'm getting old. I don't feel old, but I know I'm getting old. And I'm real. Like, if I know I got an ass whooping, I got an ass whooping. I understand that. I know I'm getting old. So I'm taking anything I can by the throat, and I'm taking the best out of it. So
I'm excited to keep watching your journey to greatness, dude.
Thank
I
you.
already know you're going to get there.
And you know what's another reason too why, bro? I already burned that boat. I burned the boat.
There's no going back.
There's no going back, bro. On some real shit, I already made, like I said, I made peace with death. And I made peace that, like, bro, if I'm by 32, 35, I'm not there, man, I don't know.
We're not going to have to worry about it, though, because you're going to make it, dude.
Amen. We will.
But yeah.
But thank you.
Doug, thanks for coming on the podcast,
Appreciate
dude.
you.
Excited to
Thank
see some great fights. And
Let's go.
Locked in, bro.
Let's go, baby. Thank you very much. What's the name of the podcast?
Mike Squires and Friends.
Thank you to Mike Squires and Friends for the opportunity.
Let's go, dude.